Hey everybody, it's Tori, and I am actually live here on Facebook, and I'm also live on YouTube, and you can see a cat paw sticking out. For those of you that have been wondering what's going on with Tori, um, we had a very lovely weekend for Memorial Day weekend. Felt fine, no problem. Then about ready to get myself together to start the work week, the short work week. And that's when things got interesting. So, with that being said, about 12:30 into Tuesday morning was when I started having incredible pain. And honestly, I thought I was having a heart attack. So, off to Newport Hospital we go about 2:30, 3 o'clock. Get there. And that was when I was taken into the ER, and it was discovered that you're not having a heart attack. Your gallbladder is trying to pass a stone that's 2 inches by an inch and a half by an inch. And that's when things really got interesting. So, with that being said, that was when they decided that because I was in so much pain, that surgery was going to be something that was necessary. So I went from the ER, I went into surgery about 1 o'clock on Tuesday, and they removed the gallbladder. And then, interestingly enough, they said, "Hey, do you want to leave the hospital today, the day of the procedure?" I'm like, "No." So I wound up staying overnight and stayed there at Newport Hospital overnight. That itself is also another interesting story um, that I will certainly talk about. So first of all, my room was right across the right across the hall from the nurses' lounge, which is nice. I don't have a problem with that, but the door on the nurses' lounge, especially in the middle of the night, was very loud. Didn't sleep much. Plus, people were coming in and checking on me and my roommate. It seemed like every 15 minutes, even though I know it wasn't every 15 minutes, but it seemed like that. So, um, happened to see some strange guy in the hallway at like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, talking on a phone, walking in circles. I'm like, what is that about? That's not something that should be happening. And he wasn't exactly quiet, because I swear to God, it sounded like they were like doing construction in the room next door to me. That was one of the reasons as to why I'm like, what on earth is going on? So, with that being said, next morning, I got this really bubbly, bouncy nurse who was very nice. She was very nice. Just going to leave it at that. And I kind of started mentioning, because I kept on seeing all the nurses like come down to the room and like look at the room next door to me. I'm like, there's something definitely going on here. I can feel it. So, long story short, we're in the process of getting ready to go. I got released from the hospital about 2 o'clock that day, on that Wednesday, the 31st. And all of a sudden, we see them wheeling in this really tall 4-foot box. Tall, long, by maybe 7 feet long, by maybe 3.5 feet wide, by maybe 3 feet tall. You get where I'm going with this, right? Yeah. So it turns out that the gentleman in the room next door to me expired. And the box that they were wheeling down the hallway with this pleather little cover and stuff like that, because they forgot to shut the door to my room, was, I guess, his ride to wherever they were taking him. Yeah. So that was fun. A little eye-opening, but that was fun. So I have been recovering since then. I took the week off last week and over the weekend, and have been really kind of just laying low. And now I'm trying to, I'm starting to get back into the groove a little bit. If you've noticed that there have been different events that have gone up, you're welcome. Cindy has been really super helpful of getting those events up and we've been getting everything written up and everything online for the next couple months regarding different events with Avalon Enchanted. So now that I have told my saga of what happened to Tori, I just want to say hi and let people know that I'm here for this week's Ascended Illumination reading. For those of you that are new and joining us, if you're joining us as a recording, please do #recording. That way we know how far the broadcast travels, and it just helps us out. But basically what we do, Cindy and I switch off every other week, and we basically will draw 3 cards from an oracle deck. It could be a deck about Ascended Masters. It could be a deck about mermaids. It could be you name it, but it's usually an oracle deck. In this case, this week I chose a deck on runes. So basically, whichever card you pick from those 3 cards that I shuffle and pull from the deck, that is your reading. So if you chose the first card, the first reading would be correlated to the first card. The second reading would be correlated to the second card. You get the idea. So the first reading, let me see what I pulled here. Now I'm not going to lie. As far as runes are concerned, I really don't know much. I'm just kind of giving people that knowledge that this is something that's new to me. Okay. So the first rune, I guess you could say rune A, is this. Okay. Rune A is this. Holding this up for the YouTube people. Okay. So this rune is the rune Isa, which is symbolizes primal ice, the primal matter. It will certainly give us hints on some of the impulse words like ice, cold, stagnation, primal stream, reception, and meditation. And the meaning of the card is about withdrawal, inner meditation, waiting, self-awareness, and quietness. So that is A. Let's see. Hey, Sandy. So the next card, the next rune, I should say, is, I said, I don't do runes. I do Celtic runes, but I don't do the Nordic runes. So I figured I'd try and start, I guess. So the rune is Fehu. Fehu. You can see the bowls with all the fire and steam and good stuff like that. So this is all about money, fire, movable wealth, power, expansion, fruitfulness, construction. It's focusing on power and strength and stamina. It's also focusing on assertion of our intentions, prosperity, and generosity. Hey, Ariana. Raina. I'm just telling you, I'm sorry. I know I keep on botching your name, and I know it, but for some reason my brain is like, gah! So I apologize, and I'm still kind of foggy. Okay, so the third one, let's see, is the rune of Haglas. So Haglas. So Haglas is all about cosmic and primal seeds and evolution, germination, well-being, protection. It's also talking about growth and flourishing, new possibilities, and balances of force. Okay, so those are the 3 particular cards, or I should say runes that we're pulling from. Yeah, I know. I actually just stopped with some of the meds yesterday for some of this, for what has been going on. And I'm feeling better because I don't think I feel like I need any of those particular meds regarding, the pain stuff. But in the same token, it's still just kind of making me a little foggy. So we're going to pull on the first one, which is the one with all the fire and ice and good stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, that belongs up there. Oh, wow, Tori. So I'm kind of feeling like if you feel, oh, thank you. I kind of feel like if you've been in the process of trying to work through some things, maybe you've been feeling like you've been put on ice or you need some downtime. I feel like that's certainly something that's been coming, that comes through with this. Interestingly enough, we have, as I like to call it, the screw it, I'm out of here card. Popping up as part of the overall meaning of the reading. So I'm just going to say there's a lot of eights here. We have literally the Eight of Cups, the Eight of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So with that being said, I'm going to say 8 is a very important number. 8 is also a sign of infinity. So people who have chosen this particular rune, it reminds us that we do need to take things maybe slowly from time to time, but we also do need to keep on moving forward. So sometimes we might feel like we're running stagnant. Maybe we're feeling like we can't get out of our own way or out of our own SHIT, as you know. So in that situation, it's really reminding us that, we may find ourselves kind of going inward. We may find ourselves needing to maybe make some changes. But in the same token, we also need to make sure that we're moving forward and we're not necessarily allowing ourselves to get stagnant and staying in one place. And we need to think outside the box. We need to be open and honest with ourselves, and really decide in terms of what directions that we need to go in. If this has been something that you've been making some changes on lately and you're in the process of trying to figure out what direction you really feel comfortable going in, this is going to be the week where this is the time to kind of make those decisions. It's kind of like things have been laid at your doorstep. Now it's your time to kind of really think back and think things through. Take some time. Here's the Hermit card. Take some time and feel into the energies. Feel into what you need to work on. Feel into what you need in order to bring what it is that you need to bring in. You have, the Eight of Pentacles is always a card that talks about having a lot in reserve. Don't be afraid to dip into the reserve if you need to. It's going to be something that's going to be kind of required of you. It's also going to be something that you need to be patient on. Okay. You're going to find that there are going to be some things that you need to focus on this week that are going to take a little bit more patience and care than what you might be expecting. So keep that in the back of your mind. If I'm going to pull another card, I have the 10 of Wands. The load is going to feel heavy. You might feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders, and that's what's weighing you down, and that's what's kind of keeping you trapped. So that's time to make some of those changes, basically. Question is, are you putting yourself in this isolation on your own, or is somebody else doing this to you? And that's a question that you need to focus on. If you've been finding that there have been people holding you back, or if you've been finding that there's situations that are holding you back, maybe it's time to really kind of break those chains. And like I said, here's the screwing them out of here card. Beat that path so that way you're able to go where you really want to go and do what you really want to do and get out from being stuck. Okay? Get out from being stuck. All right. So let's take another look at the next ones. So the next one, like I said, I guess you could call this B. We have a lot of fire. We have a lot of passion. We have a lot of steam. To me, this is very much reminding me of all of the symbols regarding, the lower chakras, the reds, the oranges, the yellows, the dark blacks and browns. And then you look at the fire at the very, very end of the fire, you start to see a little bit turning into green. So that's something to kind of think about. If I were to pull open this book again and take a look, it is a focus on, let's see here. Bear with me. It's the Fenhu one. So it's about stamina. It's about fruitfulness. It's about construction and destruction. Sometimes we need to destroy things in order to clear away stuff that we want to bring in. Sometimes you really have to do like a controlled burn. Ooh, that flew out. Sometimes you need to do a controlled burn in order to clear away a foundation. And the bull is also all about, stamina. In Egyptian religion, the bull is very sacred. You also have, the bull that's tied in with one of the Egyptian goddesses. So let's see what we got going on here. Interesting. This is another one where we have a lot of stuff that we've been working through, and it's a matter of saying, okay, do I have stamina to kind of break through what I need to break through? Or am I just going to sit there? It's almost like the universe is saying, yeah, you can do this. You got this. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to jostle you there. 2 cards did fall out. We have the Knight of Wands. And then we also have the Hermit. So let's see what we got going on here. And if I were to pull the bottom of the deck, we have the 6 of Pentacles. Okay. So we do have a lot of prosperity. I also feel a lot of it is about being confident in what you do and the directions that you go in. It's kind of like, okay, we still have some of the 8s, which I find kind of amazing. We don't have all 4 of them, but we do have the 8 of Cups. We do have the 8 of Swords, and we do have the 8 of Wands. So the only thing that we don't have is the 8 of Pentacles. This is another one where we're going to need to focus on making sure that we're in balance. And again, the infinity symbol is all about balance as well. People who've chosen B are going to find that, yeah, there's going to be some decisions to make coming up. Here's the 2 of Wands. What direction do I go in? What direction do I go in? What makes sense? What doesn't? Do I just want to flee? Or are there things that I have responsibilities on that I need to make put some attention on? And I feel like that's going to be something that you ask yourself. I also feel like in the immediate, we have the 8 of Cups, which, as I keep saying, is my screw it out of here card, which is also followed by the Wheel of Fortune, which, as we know with Wheel of Fortune, is about cycles changing. So I almost feel like you having the stamina and the determination to break through this wall of fire is going to give you your freedom. Okay. It's like you can either be, I don't want to say trapped because I don't feel like that's the right word. You can be, well, you can kind of just kind of give up and be like, okay, well, I'll just go with the flow. But I almost feel like if this is something that's really worth your while and it's something that you really feel like you need to focus on, then you're going to make it a big push to move heaven and earth to allow you to get to the next level, to get where you feel like you're supposed to be going. And I feel that's kind of where this is coming in. You know, we have the we have the Knight of Wands, we have the Six of Swords. So things are in the process of settling up. You know, things are in the process of shutting out some of these things, but you got to be strong. You know, you definitely got to be determined, and you got to punch through that wall of fire. You know, fire can either burn you or can help in terms of bringing through new growth. And that's something that people need to kind of keep in the back of their minds. I also hear that there is a need to make sure that you're not allowing yourself to get complacent. That's the word I was looking for, complacent. You know, here's the Hanged Man. But to me, this is also saying look at different perspectives. You know, by you deciding that you're going to pull yourself into a different direction, that's a whole totally different perspective, which is kind of one of the things that you actually need. So that's certainly something to really focus on. So if you've chosen B, then this is something in terms of you really digging deep and being determined, being bullheaded, and allowing yourself to keep on moving forward and keeping momentum with this forward movement because there's a new cycle coming in. Okay. And again, like I said, the cards that I had pulled was the Knight of Wands, who's very creative. So there's some new opportunities coming in. The Hermit. Think things through. You know, there's going to be some things that you're going to definitely need to work through on in order to kind of give yourself the permission. But we have the Six of Pentacles, which is interesting. You know, she has a full feast going on there. You know, and she's balancing everything, but she can do it. It can be done. You just got to get through this. You got to get through this, through the flames. It's interesting because this was also in the people who chose A as what was in the past. So if we compare this up with this, they do kind of look a little bit familiar, don't they? So this is your almost like this is your winged, this is your the bird that comes up out of the fire. What's the bird that comes up out of the fire? I don't know, firebird. No, not what I'm talking about. Because I can't think of the word right now. This is your opportunity, your phoenix. This is your opportunity to rise. And you got to put the power and the energy into it to make it happen, basically. All right, let's see C. Yes, Phoenix. Like I said, I'm in a fog, so. All right. Thank you. All right, and let me just review this one again. More fire, which is kind of interesting. 9. This is the Haglas. So primal, evolution, germination, well-being, balance of forces, structure of the world, completeness, growth, new possibilities. Look at the fire. Could very well be the Canadian wildfire. I didn't even think of that, Sandy. So, can't help you now, Mark. I don't know what you mean. All right, so I'm shuffling for the third card. sometimes I feel like I have to just kind of do one of these like dealer shuffles if I'm going to actually have any productivity. All right, so let's see what we got for this. Two of Cups, Fool, High Priestess, the Empress, Four of Cups, the Devil, Five of Pentacles, King of Wands, Eight of Swords, Death, Magician, and the Six of Cups. All right, so let's see what we got. So if you've chosen C, to be perfectly blunt, there's a lot of stuff that's gonna need to change. And I feel like change is a big part of the problem. There are gonna be some things like we have the Death card and we have the Devil card. You know, the Death card is usually something coming to an end, where the Devil card is a focus on getting out of our own way, getting ourselves unstuck, getting ourselves out of a rut. Obviously, the Five of Pentacles or the Five of Discs is not a great card. But here, look at this. There's more fire. More fire. So there are going to be some things that you might find that are going to really kind of need to going to have to be a controlled burn. You might need to kind of foster the fire to kind of help you. But I also feel like people who choose C are going to find themselves in a situation where they may feel that they made the wrong choice. But in the end, I feel like it is the right choice, if that makes any sense. Because we have just a lot of stuff in terms of stuff leaving, stuff moving, stuff going out. I don't know if you've chosen C, if there are some relationship issues going on that need to change, which is kind of causing or almost holding you back. But I feel like there's stuff in here where there are gonna be some major changes coming, and change is also very scary, but sometimes change is something that we need. If I were to pull from the bottom of the deck, I have the Prince of Swords. What I'm going to say is you might have to be kind of bold, and you might have to really kind of make these changes on a bold way in order to kind of extricate yourself out of what has been going on. Interestingly enough, we have the Magician, right? And then we also have the Six of Cups. Ooh, hello. So we have emotional stuff. It's almost like, oh, yeah, okay, that is right. Right side up. But it's all green and lush, right? Where before it's kind of very brown. It's very sparse. We have flames. We have stuff kind of really shifting. We have some dark stuff. And I don't mean dark energy stuff. I just mean maybe you might find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're kind of not necessarily focusing on things in the right manner. And sometimes our subconscious can go a little dark. There are definitely going to be some things that you're going to need to kind of really focus on figuring out this week. And there are going to be some things that you're going to find that are really going to require you to possibly need to make some changes on. But I feel like those changes, those things that are going to change for the better, I think are going to be in a better place. The other thing I am going to say, though, is that don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay? Don't put all of your eggs in one basket, because I feel like you may find that there's a certain path that you want that is either not attainable, or a path that is not the right path for you, which may cause you to kind of second guess yourself. So my point is, we have a lot of stuff that we probably need to strip away this week, and really go back to just basics, and leaning into this energy. It's going to be one of those things where it's going to be beneficial for you in the long run, but it's going to be something that's going to be tough. Here's the Prince of Wands. In this case, it's the Knight of Wands. But, there's forward movement. But again, everything is on fire. Everything is on fire. It's weird. That's the second prince. In this case, that would be the Knight that's been pulled. There's the Hermit again. So my point is, you're going to have to think long and hard this week, and really kind of be careful and calculating. But there's going to be stuff that you're going to need to strip away. It's not going to necessarily be a walk in the park, just to kind of give you the heads up. But it's going to be something in the long run, which I feel is going to give you forward movement. There's the King of Swords. That's going to give you the forward movement that you need in order to be successful, in order to make the progress that you're looking to make, the changes that you want to make. So I hope that helps. Couple things going on. Let's see. So we were supposed to be at Harbor Lights this evening. Between the possibility of rain and me still not feeling that great, and the wildfire situation with the breathing, I'm like, there's no way in hell's on God's green earth that I'm going to be able to make it there. So that's why I did this from home tonight. We still have spots available for the Merlin and the Dragon Summer Solstice event. We have openings for readings as well as healings. Both Cindy and I have space open for readings and healings. And I am in the process of starting to kind of get back into going in and starting to feel better and able to start to do a little bit more work. I have actually started working a little bit with my day job. And certainly if people want a reading, either it be remote or in person, we can definitely work something out for Cindy or myself. So we still have, like I said, we still have space available for the Merlin Summer Solstice on the 17th. Cindy is going to be doing her Violet Flame healing on the 20th. And I am going to actually be table tipping at A Touch of Magic on the 20th. And I'm also going to be teaching crystal gritting on the 23rd. So July is absolutely wacky. I'm just giving you guys the heads up now. We have a lot of cool stuff going on in July. We are going to be doing Cindy's actually going to be leading a full moon ceremony on July 2nd. So that's going to be in honor of the buck full moon. And I'm going to be doing table tipping. The weekend of the 8th and 9th of July is the weekend of the Wickford Art Festival. So we're actually going to definitely have the studio open for that weekend and be available for people for readings and things like that. We probably won't be able to do healings, because generally with the Wickford Art Festival, there's a lot of people. They're actually not housing the actual art festival part in one of the fields just outside of the village. But the village is definitely going to be busy, and it's going to be a great weekend. Hopefully the weather will be good. It's always a fun event. And then we have some other things that are going to be going on in July, like some table tipping. Cindy's going to be teaching a class on exploring the chakras. I'm actually going to be going to upstate New York for a couple of days, mid-July. As I like to say, I'll be yodeling in the woods with the ladies of the Sisterhood of Avalon on one of my intention weekends. So that will be fun. So we have a lot of stuff. We've actually have a whole bunch of events that are planned out between now and October. We are in the process of planning some really cool things for August with Lionsgate, which we've just put up. And we are also going to be, the village is going to be really buzzing for September and October. In particular, there's going to be like 3 different parades for October in Wickford Village. And there's going to be a lot of really great events that are going on. So I definitely encourage you to stop by the village any chance you get. I mean, there's always something going on. We have the Harbor Lights once a month. So we'll be doing Harbor Lights again in July. And it's almost like a water fire, but Wickford style, which is kind of cool, and so on. So there's a lot to do. There's a lot to see. It's a nice little village. It has a lot of really cool historical stuff that I could drone on and on and on about, but I'll save you guys I'll save you guys from it. If anyone is interested in a reading, either from me or from Cindy, or healing from me or from Cindy, let us know. You can message us directly through the Avalon Enchanted Facebook page, or if you're on YouTube, reach out that way, message us, and we can make that arrangement for you, either in person or remotely, whichever is more convenient for you. Anyhow, we hope that you'll see us at some of the events. And we hope that you'll stop by the village. We're usually there on weekends. This particular weekend, because I'm not feeling well, unfortunately, I guess gallbladder removal is kind of a major surgery, I'm being told. So I'm really trying to slow things down as best as I possibly can, so that way I'm able to heal better. So. But with that being said, I'm like chomping at the bit in order just to kind of keep moving and get going on things, which is driving me insane. But you got to heal, right? You got to heal. So I just want to say thank you to all of those who stopped by. And yeah, Sandy, I had gallbladder surgery last Tuesday, which is why I was in the hospital. It was an emergency procedure that was very unexpected, going in the middle of the night. And yeah, so I have a post-op appointment with the surgeon on Tuesday. So I'm hoping to get a little bit more structure in terms of what I can and can't do from that. And it is what it is. Life is good. Could have been worse. Like I said, I thought it was a heart attack, so it could have been worse. But anyhow, check us out. Check out the studio. We'd love to have you there. Usually we're there on weekends. However, this weekend is not something that's going to be in the cards, no pun intended. But we'll catch you another time. But definitely reach out. All right. So take care, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye.